I want to tackle one of the hardest problems I have on a normal basis. And it sounds simple, but storage. Let's take a look. All right. So the first thing that I like to understand about storage of tools and specifically, is that not every solution fits every job. There's a lot of awesome ideas out there. If you go from like the wooden built drawers and cabinets from several of the woodworkers, like the Sortimos from Adam Savage, just to toolboxes and shelves. Just remember, not every solution fits every problem. So one thing for work areas, if you have a very narrow focus for a given bench, and this is often for production areas where they're doing this job over and over again, and that's just a board on the back of the bench. Let's check out my shipping table and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. This is my little shipping table, and I picked up the shipping table used from wherever. Don't get me lying to you. And all this table truly does is my shipping. So whenever I'm shipping on Etsy, Marketplace, wherever else, I'm running everything across here. It gives me a spot to hang up all of my tools. Easy to grab. I've got my tape along with a spare roll right behind every one, because there's nothing more frustrating for me than to run out, get to the bottom of my roll, and then start digging. Got a stapler I use it for the boxes, scissors, ruler, cutters, pretty much the gambit of what I use while I'm shipping, short of printing off labels themselves. And I'm getting to that point. It's a work in progress. But everything's right here. It's right at my fingertips. I'm able to grab it, run through it, and that's great for a single purpose location. But whenever we start getting into broader areas, it gets a little harder. So let's check out some other solutions that I've got through the shop, along with my favorite one. 20 bucks improves almost any storage solution. Let's check it out. Okay. Now first, I need your help. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel and share all the random things that I've learned over my little lifetime. And I'd love to share them, but I need your help. Like I say, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking down in the doobly-doo down below, and let's get going. All right. So one of my favorite $20 solutions is filing cabinets. It's overlooked over and over again. Well, I pick them up on Marketplace, Craigslist. They're typically like $25 if it's really close and a really good shape, but the $10 to $20 is where I typically find them without too much trouble. A week, 2 weeks, and they'll pop up. Get you turned around here. Now you can see not all of my storage is wonderful. So it's a work in progress, but these I actually picked up from Hobby Lobby. I know it sounds weird. You can find all sorts of things, but it gives me a great spot. So this is some stuff for my bandsaw. This is orbital sanders. Next drawer down, some belt sanding. Next drawer down, this is stuff I use. This is for my bandsaw, and that's for some belt sander equipment. And I've got several of them. I probably have 6 here in the shop, you know, 3, 4 more out in some other storage locations. But $20, I really think this is the best bang for your buck you're gonna get for storage. Now, you've always got the traditional toolbox, and to say that the toolbox doesn't have a place, gosh, I think it's blasphemy if you wanna ask me. So this little toolbox here is kind of my automotive toolbox, and it has the sockets, screwdrivers, extensions, cutters, kind of the typical things you'd find through a toolbox. So on and so forth. We're not going to go through all the drawers. And they're a great solution. I run Kennedy. I run Kennedy mostly because that was the first toolbox I had getting out of high school, believing that machinists need Kennedy boxes. I don't think that was the right mentality, but that's how I got started, and I've just stuck with it. I have however many Kennedy boxes. But let's check out some other solutions that's a little easier on the pocketbook. This is one not everybody thinks about. So, old busted refrigerators. As a little kid, we probably had, I don't know, a half dozen of them lined up in the shop, along with in other locations for different purposes. But they do, it's, you know, essentially 2 bins. I've got kind of some odds and ends. What I like to do is stuff that I don't want to quite freeze. Yeah, rubbish. It's all rubbish. The stuff I don't want to freeze, you can throw in here, and as long as it's not for days at a time, you're able to get that couple degrees temperature difference and save a lot of materials. They're typically well insulated, and a broken freezer, refrigerator, a lot of times you can get them for free. Come and pick it up. We don't want to see this thing. Oh, let's check out some other options. So we're all familiar with the good old-fashioned shelf. If that's the Home Depot Husky shelves, the pallet racking, even wooden shelves custom built, however they are, a flat surface is great. And if you have more boxes, kind of like what I've got up here, so that's kind of Dremel stuff, lathe equipment, random this, that, and the other. That is great, but whenever you get into smaller items, they become a little more difficult. So one option that I like to do is just some chunks of PVC. This is bigger PVC. I think this is 6-inch, this is 8-inch here. And I just put in a little nest of them, and it gives me a lot of options to store all these random things. A lot of this I grab on a regular basis. A little hunk of rope. We got some, these are trowels in progress. That's a finished one there. Zip ties, hammer handles. We got some hammer wedges. A couple of brooches right there, and other odds and ends. The PVC opens this up. Instead of having just a small set, we're able to almost triple the amount of items I'm able to do on one shelf. Okay, here's an example of what I don't like. Flat surfaces, man, sometimes it sounds like a good idea. And if you look at this complete utter disaster we've got going on here, it's just a good example of why flat surfaces are something to be wary of inside of a shop. Let's check out some better options. Here's another one that I really like. They're old card cabinets, library card cabinets. The younger guys may have never had to use one of these, but before the age of internets, we would have cards in drawers like this of every book through the library, and you would just sort through until you could find it, pull out your card, and then it would give you a location on the shelf. Today, they've become obsolete, but there's still a few of them out there that give us some awesome options for sorting small parts, tools, accessories, so on and so forth. I get a lot of things from auctions, so you can see it's a bit of an eclectic collection. These are kind of big bins, old toolboxes, which, I mean, don't be scared of leaving an empty drawer. I think Adam Savage calls it baby fat. A little bit of extra room in the storage process allows for that expansion. Here's just oversized sockets. Another great solution, and this one's pretty well known, is bolt bins. Then I try to keep a selection of nuts and bolts on hand, along with, we got some lag screws, bit of sandpaper, annular bits, concrete anchors, woodruff keys, cable ties. It's kind of a gambit through here. But if you can pick them up, for under $50, I think you're doing pretty good, and it's well worth the expense, if it's feasible. All right, let's run out to some of our storage sheds, and I'll show you some of the other kind of more well-known options. Okay, for the last one, this is one we've pretty well already seen. It's pretty common as you get through the thing. It's kind of dark in here, so I'll try to shine the light so we can see what we're talking about. And we've seen just shelves with the little yellow bins, up, down, tubs on either side. The big thing to remember through all the storage, if you're doing it in a bucket, a tub, a filing cabinet, a toolbox, you name it, just keep it simple. Don't overthink it, and don't believe that one solution is the right solution for every problem. Just get it where you can see it. Now, when it comes right down to it, that's really only a couple of the options of storage that you can find out in the world that guys have come up with. You can use old garden rakes and make hooks out of them. Cattle panels on the wall for hanging stuff. I've even got some ladders that we hang some stuff off of. There's a lot of awesome solutions out there, and I want to hear about yours. Put it down below. We'll see you next time. Be good, or be good at it.